Hey, what's the crack? This is Oliver Keane Motion Design, and today I'm going to show you the effects and presets panel inside of After Effects. Honestly, I use it every day, and like everything that is almost created inside After Effects, people use effects and the presets panel for a lot of the stuff they make, you know. It's kind of in the name, After Effects, effects panel, you know, ... If you come over here to the side, right here to your right hand side, and see effects and presets, click it down and you have like a bunch of text in here, you know, like different stuff going on and different words. A lot of them honestly you won't use, a lot of them you will use. It depends really what you're doing and so on. I'm going to import some footage in so we can play around and drop some of these effects onto some footage and so on. So if we come over here, and at the end of this video there's going to be a link, and I'm going to put in these two pieces of footage, so this butterfly PNG and this flowers bloom MP4. So basically I've used this a lot before, these two pieces of footage. So if you come over here and just like left click and just drag these guys in here to your project panel right over here and drop them in and leave them load in. And we're going to start with the flowers bloom. So if you come over here and if you right click and go new comp from selection, and that makes a new comp from this like before. If you just drag along and just like pick a flower that you like, okay, you can use whatever footage you want as well. So I'm going to use this blue flower right here, okay? And what I want to do is I want to make this blue flower a different color, okay? So this is where the effects and presets panel comes in really useful. So you see here the color correction in here. If you pop that down, you see here, I'm going to add a color correction to this piece of footage. So if I come here and if I find hue and saturation right here, you drag this, you can either drag it into your window like that and drop, okay? Command or Control Z again, or you can basically drag it straight down here onto the, you know, onto the timeline here and drop, and it'll add the effect to your footage. Or you can double click it as well when you have your, you know, your footage or whatever layer you have in your timeline selected. If you click twice, it'll add it to, you know, to your footage. So yeah, what you get straight away when you add hue and saturation to this footage is all these values in here for hue and saturation, see up here on the side. And straight away if you come in here, okay, and see where it says master and all this stuff, you see use this master hue here, and if I just like rotate that around, you know, so you can see already it's changing, you see. So this is the power of adding presets to your stuff. So if you want to change the color of this flower to something, you know what I mean, and then you play around with the saturation if you want to make it less saturated or more vibrant, see, drag it up. And you can also play with the lightness as well, but that'll affect the black in the background, so I wouldn't recommend doing it too much. You can see already we're getting this kind of neon cool looking flower than blue, you know, before. But if you come up here and see the little effects logo here, you click that, so you'll remove it, so you can like check what it looked like before and what it looks like now. But yeah, if you come over here to colorize, if you want instead, when you press colorize, it kind of overrides channel range 1 right here, and you can basically add the color in this way. Do you know what I mean? You can do lightness and, you know, play around with it. A lot of this stuff is like you really need to play around with it yourself. That's why I'm giving you footage, like if you come back here to your project, because you see here when you add effects, you get the effects control panel opens. So if you come back here to your project up here, you'll get it back here. But that's why I'm giving you the butterfly and the flowers bloom, okay? And I really suggest to do this is right click on both of these and basically make new comps from those selections, and then start dragging, you know. It doesn't even need to be color correction, so I would recommend doing that and playing around, because that's how I learned how to use After Effects, honestly. So yeah, that's using, you know, hue and saturation, but I'm going to actually delete this because I don't really need it. So you press backspace up here in the hue and saturation, it gets rid of it. So also I'm going to try a curve, so you see curves. So I want this footage to be darker, so if I come here and just drag it onto my footage, so you get this little curve here. You can basically just drag this around, you know, and make like a nice S curve, and you can basically make it like brighter. You can make it darker, you know. So yeah, that's like another way. This is mainly in the color correction, but this is kind of what I kind of use. I use curves, I use hue and saturation a lot, you know. A lot of people go crazy with it as well. And like if I press backspace and I click on this footage again, and if you go to colorama, so if you find that right here and add that on, so double click, it does some crazy stuff, you know what I mean. And you can do some really crazy stuff with colorama, you know, some trippy stuff. The phase shift here, if you rotate that around, it does some crazy stuff. This was one of my favorites when I first started, and I really enjoyed like just playing around with, you know, trippy stuff inside of After Effects. So I'd recommend just going in and dragging on top of your footage. So yeah, that's colorama, and like that's, we're showing a few color effects. But also you can do, see this was in the color correction, you can also do distort, you know. Distort is a really good one, but I'm not going to use it with footage, I'm going to use that with an image. So if you come back here to my project and see where it says butterfly here, I'm going to make a composition from this. So if I go new comp from selection from the butterfly, see? And yeah, you can change the color of the background if you want, or turn on the transparency grid because this is a PNG. And I'm just going to make it fit so I can see what's going on with it. So this butterfly right here, okay, I'm going to add a twirl. See twirl right here? So if you come up here to distort and add in twirl, see? Double click that and it'll add it to your image. But if you go angle, see like that, it'll twirl your footage, see? So you can almost make your butterfly dance really easily like that, see? But you can see the radius is off, so you can see it's like it's pinning like the corners, you know, it looks a bit weird, see? So what if you do is like, if I just do that for a second and then see your radius, bring out your radius a bit more so it's like that, you know, and you can almost make your butterfly flap in a weird way really quickly. Not flap, but it's like really funky dance or something like that, you know. So yeah, add on a few different like distort effects onto your, you know what I mean, you can do that. Looks really crazy. Imagine if that was like a trippy DJ loop or something like that with a butterfly. Yeah, so go in and just add a few different effects, and if I come up here to twirl and just press backspace, it removes it and it doesn't compromise my footage or anything, so it's really easy. So yeah, come in here to distort, add in a few different things, you know. A lot of people use ripple for a lot of stuff as well. So if you click ripple and then go your radius, you can ripple your graphics really easily. So if I up my ripple up a lot here and see the hair ripple phase, if you animated that, you know, going around with keyframes, you could do some cool stuff. So yeah, that's how you add a few different like effects with the effects and presets panel, you know. But yeah, I have a lot of different effects in mind, so if you don't see effects that you know you don't have, don't worry, because I have like trap code and I have video copilot and all that stuff. You probably won't have that if you're using a trial, so don't worry if you don't have that, you know. This is just showing you some basic presets and effects and presets. So yeah, that's how you add in a few different presets. In my next tutorial I'll show you how to animate type inside of After Effects, so basic type animation. So hope this helped guys, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Have a nice day.